Welcome to the Know, I'm Turney.
I'm Jenkins.
Breaking news, everyone. Nothing is real, and you can't trust anyone.
Not even anonymous Reddit and NeoGAF posters?
No, I'm sad. Who knew? The last week has been an emotional minecart carnage ride right out of Donkey Kong Country, my favorite level, Eddie. How did you know? For all Nintendo fans, with a number of supposed leaks and rumors.
And unfortunately, or fortunately, if you hated that god-awful controller design, it seems that most of them are complete hoaxes drummed up by the internet.
In total, we've had 2 controller leaks that were outed as fakes by the people who created them, as well as a rumor about Nintendo killing the Wii U by the end of the year, which has been refuted by Nintendo, although with a caveat.
Yeah, we'll see. That denial's tripping our bullshit detector a little bit, but more on it later.
Yes, last week we covered the leaked images of the egg-shaped Nintendo NX controller that Dual Pixels first reported as having come from an exclusive source. Destructoid then followed that up with a report claiming they couldn't detect that the image had been photoshopped at all.
After that, the story was absolutely everywhere. By yesterday, we learned that this was all the work of Reddit user Is2Dev.
Give that guy a job. The Redditor posted a lovely taunting video about how he trolled everybody on the interwebs. The video shows just how he created the screenshot of the seemingly Billy Hatcher and the giant egg-inspired controller entirely in Photoshop.
And thank God, too, because that thing was ugly.
Indeed.
But even though that screenshot was fake, it still didn't explain the extremely convincing leaked photographs which surfaced just the other day containing a very similar controller.
Now those photos, posted by Reddit user Perkele37, appeared to show an NX controller in the wild, and they actually looked pretty damn legit.
The Reddit user's been busy. But as it turns out, those were fake too. That news broke when it was revealed that the egg controller redo was the skilled 3D printing work of NeoGAF user Kanki.
Again, you're so skilled.
Guys,
use it for good.
You could cure so many things, and instead, you're trolling us on the internet. I like you.
Yeah, gamers use 3D prototypes now just to fuck us, so. What a time to be alive!
It's a brave new world. The gaffer, whose name is actually Frank Sandqvist, published a video to YouTube this morning documenting how he made the controller in a lab that he operates with his brother.
In the video, Sandqvist apologizes for getting all of our hopes up before acknowledging how many people seem to hate the design, so, it's probably all for the best. According to him, the whole thing was an experiment to see if he could make a matching design based on the original screenshot.
Mission accomplished, buddy. Both of these hoaxes coupled together are a great example of how the rumor mill can easily be manipulated. 2 independent sources aren't always enough to say something is real because, as you can see here, one of the hoaxes was based off the other hoax. It's hoaxception.
It really made everything really confusing for everyone once the first controller was confirmed to be fake. I mean, it seemed a little too convenient that the second set of screenshots could match the first set so closely and still be real.
Of course, all of them were based on nothing more than images pulled from public Nintendo patents, which gave them just enough credibility for the masses. And ourselves.
Yeah, and our hearts. These aren't really the first gamer-created hoaxes to gain widespread attention either. Last year, a college student started a very juicy rumor about Microsoft tapping Insomniac to reboot the Conquer franchise before the project ultimately fell apart.
Yeah, that's just playing on our dreams.
That's true.
The rumors spread like wildfire. The post even managed to nab a verified badge on Reddit based on the fact that the poster produced an image of an alleged internal Microsoft memo.
But as it turns out, the entire ordeal was nothing more than a college assignment to go viral.
That should never be a college assignment. You can't guarantee viral, and when you do, it's usually bullshit.
By the way, the student got an A on his paper, and the rest of us,
there's a surprise.
Broken hearts, so fuck you, Henry Mason or Harry Mason. No one cares what your damn name is.
Weirdly enough, we've gotten some other hoaxes based on class assignments as well. Back in 2010, a leaked PS4 launch trailer debuted ahead of the system's announcement by Sony. The video, which was actually really well produced, gained a ton of traction and millions of views before the creator said it was a class project to create a viral video.
Good, come on, professor, stop fucking us over here. Or also the recent Pokemon Sun and Moon whole fiasco, really, where a fake Nintendo account, Nintendo of America, where they used the L instead of the I, and then they left out the T altogether, tweeted out that the game was real before the Nintendo Direct, which revealed that the game was real.
Yeah, people took that tweet, which looked very official, minus the fact that Nintendo was totally misspelled, as actual confirmation and ran with it. The game did turn out to be real, but that was an embarrassing 24 hours for those who reported it.
Really, all these are examples of how those of us covering video game news need to really be very careful when and how we report rumors. As we've seen with these NX controller jobs, the links people will go to create fake news is really very astounding.
Some gaffers just want to watch the world burn.
I think they all do. Used to be the case that people who wanted to create fake news would just write fake shit to Nintendo Power, but now we have people crafting Photoshop prototypes, 3D printing off designs. It's just crazy. They got anonymous tips to Reddit, and they write in news tips and the world is just on fire.
Which is
Helter
why
skelter.
when we report on the rumors, we do our best not to only check where these things come from, but also let you know why they aren't to be taken as fact yet, and cover all the things about them that make them dubious as well.
Sure, and when we get tips from sources, we do what we can to verify the source. Now, Funhouse has a story today with a reliable source about the PS4K rumors, for instance, and we've had a few in our past that were verified as well.
Yes, a lot of times we can't tell you who our source is because otherwise no one would ever talk to anyone, but we know who they are and we have cause to believe the information they provide.
Exactly, like I was just saying in our Xbox source earlier this month, who gave us info on how Windows 10 may be related to the closures of Lionhead and other Microsoft games. That was a verified source we were sure was good that wanted to remain anonymous.
For obvious reasons.
Yes.
In another instance earlier this week, we reported on a rumor that 3DS production could be joining Wii U in a production shutdown based on being delisted from a major retailer. Now that came from an anonymous tipster we don't have a history with, but we were able to confirm what he was telling us, and that's why we report that kind of stuff.
Now that, coupled with the Nikkei report this week that Nintendo will stop Wii U production by year's end, painted a very interesting picture of what Nintendo's plans could be for the NX in 2016.
Now Nintendo has since kind of denied the report, but their denial is really, really vague, a little bit too vague for our liking. Speaking with Japanese site IT Media, Nintendo simply said the Nikkei report isn't our announcement.
Which is like a total, I'm not denying it, but you didn't hear it from me.
Like, I don't want to lie, but I don't want to say yes.
Yeah, exactly. It is really interesting that they comment on this rumor and not go ahead and say that everything was fabricated, like the controllers were fabricated or anything else, but yeah, it's probably just a case of like, oh shit guys, please don't stop buying Wii U's.
Don't wait for the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the controllers don't really affect you one way or the other if you're Nintendo, since you know you're about to blow everyone's minds with the real thing sometime, maybe. We hope. As long as it's not, honestly, as long as it's not that controller, I think we're all gonna be on board.
What if this was all by Nintendo and it's like a viral thing to see like a really shitty controller, and then they show something that's like not even that great, but we're so excited it's not the shitty controller?
They're gonna get an A
Even
from their
more
professor.
excited. Oh, so excited. So what do you guys think of the NX hoaxes? Let us know in the comments down below. Hoaxa.
For future rumors about all things video game related and more new GAF schemes, remember to like this video and subscribe to the know.
Hey Caden, have fun editing this one.
Holy shit.
Absolutely.
We
You're just playing
real
on people's
stuff
dreams.
doesn't go viral.
Why don't you make
We
a
just
college assignment just to shit on people's faces? Because that's what you did on our hearts.